Real quick, point of verification. I think you said that Mr. Ossenmacher supported Supervisor Miller. Actually, he did support her primary challenger and wrote an op-ed in the paper of how much he can't stand Allie Miller, so you might want to back off that one in the future. As looking at this county and how it's been run for the last 20 years and all the bad priority decisions that's gone on of not funding roads, not funding parks, and all the basics of doing an economic gardening, as we like to say, there's 3 Democrats who have been voting for bad budgets for some of them almost 24 years. One of them is Sharon Bronson, one of them is Richard Elias, and one of them is Valadez. So what I'd like you to explain to everyone is why were you Democrat Ramon Valadez campaign treasurer for 2012 and 2016? It seems a little weird for someone who keeps saying she's a lifelong conservative Republican. Thank you.
Thank you. And getting back to with Bill Ossenmacher, there was a point in time when he did support Supervisor Miller, and so I just want to make sure that we don't have any discrepancy there. So let me go back to my working relationships. When you're in business, you don't ask a person whether they're a D or an R or an I, you get across the finish line. That's the way that capitalism and free markets work. You have to work that way. That's the world I know. So in doing so, some of the businesses that I managed, I got to know, as I mentioned, I got to know some of the individuals in our municipality and our government works. And so before I ran my first time, my experience with an elected office was in 2016. Prior to that, I worked in business, and that's the world I was in. And so I got to know Mr. Valadez from a business standpoint, and he said, you know what? Because we worked together, and we had some businesses that we had to work together with for them to get to their goals and objectives here in Pima County. And he said, you know what, would you mind, he goes, would you want to be a treasurer? I had no idea that the political fallout of being able to be a treasurer, a Republican treasurer, mind you, for a Democrat sitting on the Board of Supervisors. If I would have thought that there was anything devious about it, why would I have done it and be here today? That's the key. I work with other people, and I don't have to give up my conservative values. They know full well, Mr. Valadez knows full well that I'm a Republican. There's never been any secret, but it's the way I treat people, and it's how I see things to get done. So being a treasurer, I'd never known on a campaign. So doesn't change anything, and maybe as a sitting Pima County supervisor, having the ability to have a conversation with others will allow us to get things done in this region. And that includes having the business acumen that I have in my experience and now serving on a governing board. I look at that as a win. The negative that goes on, I look at that as a win, because at the end of the day, whether you're in business or whether you're sitting on a governing body, the goal is for both of those to get things done for our citizens. It's that simple. And if I have to humble myself to listen to somebody else who's on a different party line, if I can get something done for District 1 and for the region, I'm going to do it. And at the end of the day, hopefully we'll get something done. And so I have no regret that I was a campaign treasurer. If anything, I learned something about campaigns. I don't agree with a lot of what they've done, but they're elected. And we have to figure out a way to work with other people, because in Pima County, our troubles are not going away anytime soon. So we got to learn the problems, and we got to try to figure it out. So I can see where it looks strange, but I'm not a lifelong elected official or politician. I'm just here in a place in my life where I can do something good with the experience that I have, being a homegrown person here. It's that simple. There's no conspiracy theory here. Thank you.